I'm Melinda. I'm a singer, an actress, a teacher, and a traveler. I like to live life to the fullest, but in a natural way. This is my story. Welcome to Naturally Melinda.
Hi guys, I thought I would start today with a little tour of some of the products that I use in my bathroom. So I'm going to put you here. Let's see if this works. It does. Pardon the noise in the background and my red face. I am very warm. It has been really warm this last week, especially the last 4 or 5 days. We are getting unusually warm weather here in Michigan, and my little air conditioner, well, it's a big beast of an air conditioner, in my apartment can't keep up. So they've given me a window air conditioner to try and make up for it instead of fixing it. But anyway, I digress. I wanted to show you a little bit of the products that I use in my bathroom. Not all of them, but some of them. When I was diagnosed with PCOS and when the doctor said you have a lot of metals in your system, you have a lot of chemicals in your system and toxins, the one thing she said was your hygiene and your hair and facial products, those are the things that you need to really look at. When she was telling me about this, she told me that I needed to work on looking at my labels for my products. So I went home and I went through my stuff and I was like, wow, because I was using the typical stuff that most women use and the typical products, the typical brands that you get from, the store. Meijer, Kroger, those are our Michigan stores. And I was a little overwhelmed at first. And the one thing that she said to me was, take the time, find the products that don't have the things in it that are harming you, but do it a couple of products at a time. Say, for instance, when you run out of shampoo and conditioner, find a new shampoo and conditioner. When you run out of toothpaste, find a new toothpaste. Things like that. So that it wasn't overwhelming, that I was tossing everything out, that I was redoing everything in my bathroom. First of all, that's super expensive. It's wasteful. And it just can, overwhelm you. So I think I said that twice. But anyway, you understand what I'm saying. It's overwhelming. So that's what I did. I think one of the very first things that I changed up was my shampoo and conditioner. And now, mind you, this was 12 years ago or more, something like that. So I've gone through many different products over the years, and now I've been with the same brand for a while. Let me show you. This is the shampoo and conditioner that I use. It's called Desert Essence, and I really like this product. And I like the coconut one too. The only reason I went to the grape was because it is for, it's backwards, I know, I'm sorry. It is because it is for color treated hair. And even though it doesn't look like my hair is color treated, because, pandemic, haven't had it done yet, it is. I do get my hair colored, and so I wanted it to help save the color. So, great product. It is free of parabens and sulfates and phthalates and artificial fragrances and colors, and it is cruelty free, and that is huge. As a vegan, I look for the little bunny. Okay, there it is. It is vegan and wheat and gluten free. So for those of you who, I don't have that issue, but if you do, these are great products. So I highly suggest Desert Essence. The other thing for my hair, and I don't use hairspray very often, but when I was looking for one, I did come across Alba Botanica, and I do like Alba. For other things, I don't use it very often. No sodium lauryl sulfates, that's a huge one you want to get rid of out of your systems. No parabens, no artificial colors. It says on here that it is no animal testing. so that's good. I like this one. We tend to use a lot of chemicals on our bodies. I came across this recipe, if you will, from Pinterest of how to make shower gels and things like that. I really like the foaming mechanisms, so that I use less actually. So what I did is I bought a foamer. You can get this, I got this at my local like Meijer or something like that. Sorry, it's kind of grimy. I tried to get it off. Our water here is terrible, and so it crusts on some griminess. I washed it, I promise. And then what I do is I take Castile soap, Dr. Bronner's, okay? I like the one that says unscented, the baby one. That way I can put in whatever I want. And I'm big into lemon because it not only is it a purifier, but it also smells good and it's an invigorator in the morning. So I fill up this container about, a third to maybe a half full with Dr. Bronner's. And then I put water, filled water up to about 3/4 full, because the mechanism for the foamer takes up some space, so only about 3/4 full. And then I'm a doTERRA wellness advocate, but I use doTERRA, but I use lemon in my body wash. And I put, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 drops of it in there. Now this container will last me at least a month, if not longer, depending on the month. I don't know why, but it will. It usually lasts me maybe even longer, a couple months. So that's really awesome. Love that. And it's cheap. You buy this huge bottle of Dr. Bronner's. It is the 32 fluid ounces. And yeah, it's about $12.99, but I use this for everything. It's awesome. So it's worth it. If you look at how much you pay in the stores for body washes and stuff, it's like $3 to $6 or $7. If you figure, I can get probably out of this $12.99 bottle, and that's at Whole Foods I get it. I've got it gotten it other places too. But if you figure, I probably get at least 4 of these out of this. So it's worth it. And it's better for your body, because Castile soap is all natural. It's healthy. Okay, so another thing that I have been using, I was using Nature's Gate toothpaste for a very long time, and I really like Nature's Gate. It had all the things that I wanted from it. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's due to the pandemic and maybe they're struggling, but they've disappeared. I can't find them in any of my stores, which is a bummer because I really like it. I also have used some Ayurveda toothpaste, but unfortunately it was having some quality issues. The last time I was in the store, I was looking for a new toothpaste and I found this one. This is Jason Power Smile. The one thing with toothpaste that you have to be careful of is you really shouldn't be using fluoride. There are so many articles and there's so much research out there that basically says fluoride is not good for you. Nobody should be using it. They started using it years and years ago. I don't even know when. I couldn't give you the exact dates. But they started using it in our toothpaste because they thought that that was what was helping our teeth. And in some ways it was slightly, but it was also harming us. So I would definitely say it's fluoride free, sodium lauryl sulfate free. You can't read it because it's backwards, but basically it's no sodium lauryl sulfates, no preservatives, no artificial colors, no sweeteners, no saccharin, no propylene glycol, no gluten, and no fluoride. I highly suggest this one. I've liked it. It's good, and it's fairly decent price. I think I only got this for $2.99, which in a health food store, like Whole Foods or Better Health, that's pretty decent. So it's small, but it's doing a pretty good job. You only need a little with this. A lot of people, when we go chemical free, the first thing that they say is, there's aluminum in your antiperspirant deodorant. And it was probably the first thing that I totally got rid of. And it's one of the hardest things that I got rid of because I felt gross. You know, you kind of have to get used to that you're not completely dry all the time when you sweat. But the other thing is when I started eliminating a lot of these things out of my body, I didn't sweat as much. When I went vegan, I don't sweat as much because you don't have toxins to eliminate. I do sweat when I work out, when I'm out in the heat, you know, I sweat, but it's not as to the extent as it was before. So I was on the hunt. I tried everything. And I think it depends on you as a person as to what works for you. So I'm going to show you what works for me. It may not work for you and your body chemistry. So I would suggest just trying them out. I know the crystal has been big for some people. Jason has some products, I think. There's just all sorts of them. Well, I found this one at Whole Foods. I really like it. I've probably been using for, 5-6 years. And it really works for me. It's called Real Purity. It's a roll-on deodorant. And it is cruelty free, so it's vegan. It doesn't have anything in it that is harmful. There's no aluminum in it because it doesn't have an antiperspirant. And it really helps. It really helps. And it works well for me. So I use this Real Purity. And then for my perfume, and this will be coming, I'm going to show you a day in the life for essential oils. But for my perfume, I basically use jasmine roll-on from doTERRA, and then sometimes neroli. I'll combine them. It depends on my mood, but jasmine is my go-to for that. So some of the other things in my bathroom. Oh, something that vegans, actually everybody needs. They claim that vegans are the only ones that are deficient in B12, and that is not true. B12 comes from the dirt in the ground, and unfortunately, we don't get dirt in our systems anymore as humans because we don't eat right out of the garden. We wash our stuff and scrape it a lot more than they used to 100 years ago. And the reasoning you get B12 from animals when you eat animals, which I don't obviously, is because they eat the dirt out of the land. Well, between factory farming and they don't allow them out in the fields very often, so they don't get to graze that much. And also, unfortunately, our soil in the world, especially in the United States, is not nutrient dense anymore. It is not strong. It is not got all those minerals and those vitamins that it used to because it's been so farmed over years and years. So not even the animals that are supposed to be eating the grass, which then they get the B12 from the dirt because they ingest some of the dirt when they eat the grass, they aren't even getting it. And so we as a society in the world are deficient in B12 and D. D you can get by going outside and spending at least 10 minutes to a half hour and making sure you get a decent amount of sunshine, and that will help you out. So those of us in the north in the winter, yeah, it's bad. But my D goes up and down, and so I work on that. But B12 is the one thing that we just cannot get unless we eat meat, and because there is some, but I get it from My Kind Organics. You see that? By Garden of Life. My Kind Organics B12 Spray. It is vegan. Methylglobulin, I think is what it says. So that is the spray that I use. And B12 will actually stay in your system for a considerable amount of time. Now, if you're really low on B12, talk to your doctor and figure out how many sprays, because I think one spray of this is considered 500 mcg. So I usually do 2 or 3 sprays, but that's just me. I am not a doctor. Do not go by what I do. But if you're needing it, talk to your doctor and see. But this is a great vegan option for B12, nice and clean. And I only do it now because my B12 isn't as low anymore because I have been using this. And also, B12 does come in nutritional yeast, and I use nutritional yeast probably every single day in my food. And even though it's a low dose, it still helps. So there is that, and I would take that. Yeah, I think that's it for now. There's other things that I use, but I think I'm just gonna go a little bit at a time because this is getting kind of long, and when I edit it, it'll shrink down, but still, it's getting a little long. I hope that this helps you and gives you some ideas of some products to use. Like I said, you gotta trial and error what's good for you. These are just the ones that I use. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I'll try to make some more of these soon. Peace.